Hey, Chris Reagan here from Reagan Financial, and I'm putting together a very special video series for my fellow accountants called the Tax Planning Mastery Course. It is all about not just tax planning. In case you don't do any tax planning in your firm, this is a really great series for you, but it's all about my firm, how we started, how we acquire clients, how we do things inside the firm. I'm even going to show you our financial statements and what we make here. So it's going to be a very transparent look at the operations of Reagan Financial, and it's going to be a lot about how we monetize this tax planning thing. If you're a bookkeeper, if you're a tax preparer, if you're a CPA, if you're an EA, doesn't matter. This is a course that you could really take advantage of. You might use just a few things, you might use all of it, I don't know. But we're going to show you everything that we can about how we operate our firm and see if it can help you be successful in yours. We're going to highlight my new software, Tax Planner Pro. It's a very exciting app that will help you do all of this tax planning that we're talking about and really monetize the opportunity that is helping your clients figure out how to pay less tax. I mean, what do they care about more? I mean, ask yourself that. What do clients really care about more? I'm a CPA. I know the importance of bookkeeping and tax returns, but I bet you're like me. Most of my clients say, Chris, how can I save money here? They come to me in tax season. How can I save money here? This is how we do it. And they keep coming back year after year. Our sales meetings are about tax planning. Our client meetings are about tax planning. I'm going to dive deep into this concept with you. We've got about 25 modules inside this course. It's probably 20 hours worth of content. You get it for free through the Tax Planner Pro Accountants Admin. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into this introduction to tax planning and introduction to this tax planning mastery course. This video is going to cover what is actually in the course. So it's going to give you a very good overview of what we're going to be talking about in all of these different tax planning modules. We're going to do a deep dive into our business here at Reagan Financial so that you understand where we're coming from a little bit better. And at the same time, we're going to give you a very good high-level look at why you should invest some time in watching these videos. So let me jump forward here and tell you a little bit about myself. I have been a CPA for 14 years. I originally started in Chicago, Illinois. I worked for both Arthur Andersen and KPMG, and then I started my own firm, Reagan Financial, up in Chicago, and then eventually moved down to Naples, Florida. We have over 450 business clients here. We've done, and this is an important stat, we've done over 6,000 tax projections in the last 12 years. I would say that makes us one of the preeminent authorities on tax projections. I would challenge anyone else if they're doing more tax projections than we are. We do tax projections for every single one of our clients every single year. I'm also the founder of Tax Planner Pro, and that's the software that's sponsoring this course and all of these courses. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in later videos. But let me show you a little bit more about Reagan Financial. We are a very standard accounting firm. I mean, we would be in many ways very similar to probably your firm. This is a picture of our website. This is our homepage here. And I included this piece here. This is a screenshot of our packages. And you can go to reaganfinancial.com and see these. I know that this particular picture here is a little small, but the reason I wanted to take you through what we do and how we do it is a couple of reasons. One, you don't know me. And so you've got to get comfortable with me and what I'm talking about and whether or not I'm an authority on what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to reveal to you some information, even some personal information, and in hopes that you start to say, hey, this is someone who does walk the walk. And I can listen to what he has to say, and he's bringing it from the real world because he's doing it every day. I know we are bombarded with thought leaders and some of those out there in other realms that are trying to tell us what to do as well. And I listen to all of them. They're in many cases very, very good speakers and have very, very good information. But I think it is special when someone that is actually doing the work that we do starts to talk about it. And those are the folks I really listen to, the ones that are out there doing accounting work and building businesses. They have some information that I really want. At Reagan Financial, you can see we are set up on a package system. So we have a basic package, a pro package, and an elite package. Each of these packages are priced already on the website based on revenue. Now, I've never actually seen another firm that prices based on revenue. I think it works really well for us, and it works really well for our clients as they grow. We also get to grow our fees. Everyone likes it. But this is a kind of a flavor for what we're doing here. And in our highest package, this elite package, we offer the tax planning module. And I can tell you probably 9 to 1, meaning not out of every 10 new clients, 9 of them choose the elite package to maybe one pro package. And we hardly have any basic packages. And this is because they want that tax planning module and they're willing to pay for it. On average, each client pays about $1,200 more to have the tax planning module, the elite package here, than they do the pro package, because our pricing down here is about $100 more a month to have the tax planning module. And for the most part, the tax planning is the only difference between these two modules besides the rate in which we do bookkeeping. The pro package is monthly bookkeeping, whereas the elite package is daily bookkeeping. And I'm going to show you how we do that later in these videos. Trust me, it's not as hard as it sounds, but they are paying a lot of money to have this tax planning. And so we're going to, throughout this course, show you why they pay so much for tax planning, how we implement it, how we do it so simply, and a lot more about Tax Planner Pro too. Before I jump too much into this slide, I want to kind of give a disclaimer. The next couple of slides are not meant to be showy or to be bragging, none of that. I'm showing you this to try and be transparent. Again, you don't know me. And so to get comfortable with what I'm trying to show you and what I'm wanting to do with you, you need to know where I'm coming from. And so these are the 2015 numbers for Reagan Financial. We are on the revenue side of things. Our package revenues about $835,000. Payroll revenues here, add-on revenue. This is in our packages. We have add-ons for accounts receivable, accounts payable, if you're setting up a corporation with us. And then we have other revenue as well, which is kind of the engagements that we have to take on that are outside of a package. So we have a couple of nonprofits that want us to continue doing their work that I've had for a decade. And so we have some other revenue items here, but our total revenue inside the firm is $916,000. Now, from an expenses perspective, our payroll expense here, I have 3 other employees plus myself, and I'm also on payroll. So I have 3 other employees that help me run Reagan Financial. I have rent. I've got software. Our software costs are significant. Most of this is going to QuickBooks Online. And then I have some other expenses as well, which are things like cars and that kind of stuff. So my total expenses are $375,000. And here I've got it broken down as what my owner benefit is. So the net income, the revenue minus the expenses here, is $540,000, almost $541,000. My owner's salary is $80,000, which is inside this number. And then my car payment and some other stuff. So my total owner benefit from the firm is $643,772. So I tell you this again to say I'm walking the walk. And if you want to make money with a very small team doing the same work that you're doing now, like bookkeeping, payroll, tax returns, I can show you how to do it. I can show you how to replicate this. And there are vast financial rewards. I know money's not everything. Believe me, I've learned that more and more each year. But I want you to take a look at this and see if you want to go down this road with us, because it does have a lot of nice benefits to it. Another very valuable piece of what we do here at Reagan Financial is calculating our net promoter score. And this is done by asking each of your clients a really simple question. How likely is it that you would recommend Reagan Financial to a friend or a colleague? And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, to rate us. Out of all of our clients that responded, 280 clients scored a 9 or a 10. 18 clients scored an 8 or a 7, and then 6 clients scored a 6, and then 0, 5, or below. So that gives us a net promoter score of 90%, which is generally good. It's not great. It's not perfect, right? We want something closer to 100%, but we're really happy with where our net promoter score is. And the reason this is important is it drives that profitability that I just showed you. When your clients are happy with you and when they're recommending you, you're not so worried about where am I going to find the next client? How am I going to get more clients? That starts to come. But the only way to get net promoter scores even close to this is to be doing the tax planning that I'm going to show you. Before I was doing tax planning, there were several years where we would run this measurement and I would be in the 50s or the 60s. And the biggest complaint that I would get is that I was not being proactive. Well, that's a really hard piece of feedback to measure and evaluate. And so what we did is we had to dig into it a little bit more and ask clients, what do you mean by proactive? And what they wanted was simply tax planning. They did not like being surprised or at tax time or feeling like we were not trying to work out ways to have them pay less. They believe that the entire business of having an accountant revolves in some way around reducing their tax bill. And so when we implemented our tax planning process, our net promoter score came way up. And then that's when we really started to see an avalanche of referrals and new business because they love talking about you. They are kind of raving fans. This is our single most important measurement we use here at the CPA firm. So let's get into the course overview and what we're going to be showing you inside the tax mastery course, tax planning mastery course. First is these 5 different subsets of the course, and each of these subsets has several videos and lessons inside of it. But first, we're going to do the introduction to tax planning. Course number 2 is sales techniques and tactics. Basic tax planning, then we do advanced planning strategies, and then some case studies. In the introduction to tax planning, we have 5 main lessons. First, we're going to start as what is tax planning. The second course is really good for those who are only doing bookkeeping. It's called I Don't Do Taxes. And we're going to talk a lot about why you should still be doing tax planning, the role that the bookkeeper, the financial accountant plays in tax planning, and trying to bring all of these pieces together. I promise if you're a tax only or bookkeeping only professional, effective tax planning cannot be done just either of you. It's got to be together. And so we're going to show you what we're talking about there and how to implement those kind of processes. Making money with tax planning is going to be on your mind. So I'm going to give you an overview of this, although the second course, sales and sales techniques and tactics, is where we really dive deep into this. Tools and software to use, and then the IRS and the tax man. The tax man is a fictional character we use here at Tax Planner Pro that represents kind of the evil guy trying to get us to pay more in taxes. Not necessarily our fair share. That's what tax planning is all about. But the tax man actually wants us to pay more than our fair share, and he's kind of our adversary in all of this. Next is the sales techniques and tactics section. And here, this is going to be very interesting to many of you because I'm going to do a deep dive in how we acquire clients, how we do our advertising, how we do our SEO and other things. I'm going to tell you some of the processes and ideas that we've tried that are awful. I'm going to tell you about some of them that rock. I'm going to talk about pricing. So we've got getting noticed, Sales presentations, this is the actual presentation we do inside the office or online when we have a new client coming in. Of course, getting noticed is the hardest part of all this, right? Most accountants that I talk to in Facebook or LinkedIn, they're very interested in this. And we're going to do quite a bit of time on how we do our getting noticed piece. We've got overcoming rebuttals. This is more than just rebuttals in a sales presentation. This is about overcoming rebuttals of people aren't even going to contact you. We go over in-depth pricing and different pricing schemes. I'm going to talk a lot about the different kinds of pricing I've done in the past and what I liked about them and what I didn't. And then our onboarding process, which is very significant and really sets the tone for the entire engagement going forward. In Module 3, we've got basic tax planning. So we're going to go through how to actually do tax planning as if you've never done it before in your life. And that's okay. If you've never done a tax projection and never done any kind of tax planning for a client, this is for you. So we're going to go through setting up tax projections, how to a deep dive and how to present business plans, how to present personal plans. So this is a business tax projection and this is the personal tax projection. Remember, you got to really have both if you're dealing with business owners. Both entities need a projection. We're going to go through the timing of tax projections and annualization, and then some client expectations. So this is the basic module for tax planning that's getting you ready for the advanced tax planning strategies. And here we do some really in-depth stuff where we go through ranking the plan, simple and easy tax tips and ideas, then advanced strategies 1 and 2. So here we're getting into the more complicated strategies and how to calculate them, how to present them to your clients. Now, a little side note, Tax Planner Pro does a lot of this for you. So Tax Planner Pro takes a lot of the difficulty of all of this out. And really, all you have to do is show the client, watch them smile, and get paid. So, and then we go into multi-scenario analysis in the advanced planning strategies piece. And finally is the case studies. And this is really important because you need to know, once you are well-versed in how you're going to run your tax planning operation, you need to know what the different kinds of client that come in, how to handle them, how to present to them, because they really require different things. And we're going to go into some detail about this. So this one's called the plumber. This is a very generalized case study of most business owners. Big hat, no cattle, the dreamer, the textbook planner, and then the client that's never impressed. So we're going to do these 5 case studies, and then later, outside of the 5 modules of this class, I have more case studies, and you can find all of this inside the Tax Planner Pro Accountant Admin. So what should you do next? Really, don't be afraid to jump around. I know most classes would say, go steps 1 through 25 in order. I know that many of you are going to skip over everything and go straight to the sales piece. Because if you don't know how to sell this and you don't know how to make money from it, why waste your time doing the rest of it? I get it. If you've never done tax projections at all before, I would suggest do the intro module first before you do the sales module. But don't be afraid to jump around. That's okay. Just make sure you watch all of them. If you come up with a question during one of the videos, make sure you write it down because you'll forget it towards the end, and write those questions down and email me, and I'll email you back what my thoughts on a question or a situation are. And if they're really important, like I've really missed something, I may even add a new video based on what you asked me. So please send that stuff to me. And if we haven't covered a topic that you need, let me know that too. After you watch all these courses, I write down here, begin, don't procrastinate. One of the things that I'm terrible about is I will watch a really in-depth look at something having to do with my business. And then I say, you know what? Oh, I'm so tired of watching these. I'm exhausted. I'll do it later. And then I never get to it. That is a bad habit that I have. And if you have a similar habit, do not do that. And I'm going to remind you of this throughout the whole course. As soon as you're ready to do something, begin. Don't procrastinate. And of course, shameless plug, implement Tax Planner Pro. I get that no one wants a sales pitch for the next 25 videos, right? And I'm not going to do that. But Tax Planner Pro is a significant app, and it is like nothing else that's out there. And at the very least, when you have some time, go check out the website and check out what it does, because I think if you decide to implement any pieces of this and are going to try and go down the road that we've gone down here at Reagan Financial, then I think it's going to be a must for your practice. So with that, let's jump into the next videos and enjoy. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And from all of us at Tax Planner Pro and Reagan Financial, my name's Christopher Reagan. Thanks for watching.